really cool tools in DubBot, but they are a little hidden. I am working every day with DubBot to try to make it a little more user-friendly for those of us who aren't super tech savvy. Um, and they have been incredibly responsive to creating a different user interface for us and adding features that we've requested. So please keep those requests coming. It helps if you use ServiceNow to ask for DubBot help or have a request about DubBot, just so I can keep track. I have received a lot of emails and Teams requests about DubBot, which is fine. It's just I'm really afraid that if something were to fall through the cracks, I wouldn't remember to go back to Teams or email to follow up with you. But in ServiceNow, I definitely have that paper trail so that I know to reach back out to you. And like I said earlier to a couple of people who jumped on early, I apologize. This is going to be a little clunky because I'm just on my laptop. So as I share my screen, please bear with me. And we're going to just dive right in. Oh no. Let's try that again. Okay. There we go. And now we want, okay. Okay, so let me see if I can minimize this. And I cannot see the chat. So if anybody has a question for me, would somebody from my team keep an eye on the questions and let me know? That would be great. So right here is your site dashboard. Some of you probably have more than one site, so you have to select your site before you can see this page. But what I really wanted to focus on is the information under quick wins. A lot of requests I've gotten are from people wanting to know not just what PDFs they have on their site, but Excel spreadsheets or Word documents. And so under this quick wins section, which is just right below your site overview with the overall score, there's this drop down. And this weird line, pages with informational searches, is where you want to go. And I realize that is not the most intuitive name, but if you click on this pages with informational searches, then click on any informational search, you get this fly out over here on the right-hand side. I have created some very specific searches that I needed DubBot to do for me, but you all have access to the pages with PDF links. You've got, oh no, where did it go? Hold on one second. Any informational search. Well, they changed it on me. I should have checked that.
It's the third link.
No, that's the pages with PDFs, but there's also, we used to have Excel documents and Word documents, and all of a sudden they are gone. So I'm going to check on that. I should have checked it this morning, but I checked it yesterday and it was there. So I don't know what happened to those two components. Not to worry. We'll get, yeah.
Could it be that the site you're looking at doesn't have any of those documents?
Oh, you know what? That could be because it is Digital Commons. Yes, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on ncdot.gov one.
Okay, good. Let me check on another one.
Pages with PDF links, link to Microsoft Excel, and links to Microsoft Document. I see them.
Excellent. I think John was right. I don't think Digital Commons. There we go.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, now you all know how to get there because you had to do it on your own. So that is great.
What about the other file types, Phoebe? Because there's other file types, right?
Like what would you like?
That I know we have.
You have video cards, PowerPoint.
Okay, so what's they're all missing? There. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yay. You're welcome. I think that's a really cool tool. I hope you use it. And it's hidden, and I realize that. So we are working on trying to figure out how to make that a little more forthright. forefront, a little more in the forefront.
Could you
The
show
other-
us like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but could you
Go
just
ahead.
show us like past there? Like, so you go to any informational search, and if we want to find all of the PDFs, right? This is all the PDFs that are linked to from the site
Hold on,
somewhere.
Sarah.
Is
I'll
that
get
right?
to that. Yep.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second. So this, I just clicked on, I think it was the Microsoft Documents. So when you click on it, here are the URLs that have the links to your Microsoft Documents. And you can click on that and get even further into it. And here it is, page information. And this will show you the links to your Microsoft Documents. Right here and here. So it's this informational, the I, that shows you exactly where those links are. Okay.
So
If
something just
Yep.
general to think about when you're thinking about to everyone, when you're thinking about, you know, the accessibility of your documents and things like that. I guess ask yourself, does it really need to be a why are we putting Microsoft Documents on the web? You know, not all the public has Microsoft Office to use. So I guess, you know, while you're doing that evaluation, think about, does it really need to be a Microsoft document?
It's such a great
Just throwing
point,
that out
John.
there.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I think, you know, these are the kinds of questions that we're just wrapping our heads around as it relates to accessibility. Because before, everyone was using the website as a repository for every piece of information they had about their organization. So yes, Marla, I can see the hand raises. I can't see the chat.
Thank you. Are those filters specific per site or per user?
These are per site.
Okay, so if I
Right.
made a filter on the Digital Commons site, you would also see it.
So these have already been created for us at DubBot, and they are
Okay.
on every agency site. The reason the Microsoft and Excel documents weren't showing up on Digital Commons is because Digital Commons doesn't have any. The Digital Commons website.
Yeah, I had posted that in fact it has an Excel file, but it's not linked. I had forgotten that aspect of it. It's not linked to
Okay.
anything.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for the
Sure.
clarification.
Yeah. Sarah, did you have another question?
Yeah, and we can take this offline if it is too specific to our organization. But what I would love to provide our leadership for, let's just take the main site and not think about the other 250 that we're have to deal
Mhm.
with. But like for the main site, I would love to be able to download a list of all the PDFs and where they're linked from by division to give to, okay, to give to each of the directors to say, here's what you have, tell us what we can delete, or
Well, we
what you
might
need
be
to
able to
keep, etc.
do that.
Sorry.
Sarah, yeah, we might be able to do that for you by the page sets, the way you have the page sets set up. But let me go through this other more general, and we'll get you part of the way there. And then you and I probably need to talk offline to get you the rest of the way there. So
Okay.
first of all, to see, let me go slower. From your dashboard, this is an accessibility issue, and I've talked to DubBot about that because they are indicating that this is a link only through color. They need to have an underline or some sort of indicator that this is a link. So I've talked to them about that. They're working on it. But to see all of your PDFs, this is the first step, Sarah. This isn't going to get you where you want to go. But I think it's important because not everybody realizes this is actually a link. And it shows you every single PDF that is published and linked to on your site. It doesn't show you where it's linked from. It just shows you the PDFs. To get to Sarah's second question, she wants to know from what page on your website do you have links to PDFs? And that is over here in the custom reports. We created this a while ago. It's still from your dashboard. right next to the quick wins we just went over here to the right, and it's called PDF links. And if you click on it, nothing happens, and it's the greatest report. I don't know what's happening to my, there we go. I just had to go up a little bit. And this shows you the site page on your website and the PDF. Now, one of the issues that I'm having is that if I were just to click on this site page and show you the site page where the PDF link is, it just takes me to the site page. I don't know where on this page that PDF link is. And this is a long page. So a workaround, and this is a little technical, so I'm really glad I'm recording this, but a workaround is to go to your Ahref, highlight the name in quotes, and copy that. Then go to this page, right click, click on Inspect Element, and then hit Command or Control F until you get this little looking glass here, and then paste that Ahref that you just copied. And when you hover over it, it will highlight, I got to go down here, I guess, where, oh, it's up here somewhere. It's like a Easter egg hunt. Here is where the PDF is. And I know that's,
yeah. We're not going to be able to do that with tens of thousands of so like that's just
Understood.
not going to work for us if
well,
it can't
let's
generate
take
it for us.
DHHS. Yeah, let's take DHHS
Okay,
out of
sorry,
it right
sorry.
now. No. I understand, and I'm going to work with you, Sarah, because we can take some of your page sets that is those different sections of the site and break this up a little bit for you. But for everybody else, that is what we have to do for right now. Yes, Dean.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that report is exportable to CSV or something that we could sort by URL on which the pages are linked. Is that an option too?
Let me see. Let me go
There
back
appears
to
to be
digital
a
commons.
download button above, but I'm not sure.
PDF links, and then yeah, download CSV right
Okay,
there.
cool.
And any report in DubBot you can download. So always look for this. The other little piece of information is this is the Ask DubBot a Question button, and they are incredibly responsive. They have real humans who are accessibility experts and who are developers who can help you with any specific question you have about DubBot. If you have a question about what does this mean as far as accessibility goes, I don't understand this code, they are more than welcome to help. Not more than welcome, they are more than happy to help you with any issue that you might run across. So please don't hesitate to reach out to them. I am also here, but I am not an accessibility expert by any stretch. I know enough to be dangerous, and I know this platform fairly well. But those are the little pieces and parts I wanted to show you. What some agencies have done is broken up their content, like agriculture is one for sure, into different page sets, which is what Sarah was talking about a little bit. I don't know why it's not letting me click. All right, let me open this. Let me close that. I will look at it. So here's the DubBot Ask a Question section. And if you click on it and just send a message, they're very responsive. So what some of our, oh, these are just the sites, sorry. Agriculture has segmented their content into different page sets. So they have specific SMEs within Finance Authority or the Sciences Center that are responsible for the content on only those pages. So they've separated out a lot of their content into those various page sets so that when their users go on to DubBot, they're not seeing the entire agriculture site. They're only seeing the sections that they are responsible for. And Sarah, I don't know if we've set up page sets. You and I can talk about that offline, but that is definitely going to help you a lot in looking at just different, because you were talking about different departments needing to look at specific information. I think that's the way we're going to have to accomplish that. Okay. I am going to stop sharing my screen and see if so that might be helpful. Okay. Could answer. Is it true that any PDF link will have the PDF icon next to it? I think so. Let me verify. If so, that might be helpful for people to try to find the needle in the haystack. Yes, yes, it might be easier just to go to that web page and do a search just for .pdf rather than cutting that code and pasting it into the inspect element section.
Well, the
Mm-hmm.
.pdf though, I don't think that would work if you search the code base for that because of the way that the links are. The PDF links, don't they usually end in like /open or /download? Is it?
But couldn't you just on the page, not in the code?
I still don't think
I
if
don't
you
know.
search for, if you Control F on the content of the page, look for .pdf, it might not always show like that.
I got you. You're right. We did have that /open for a lot of things.
But I just think maybe, you know, if you're not so comfortable with the code, digging into the code to copy and paste, and if you're just trying to visually find where is the link, maybe try to look for that icon. That might be a good clue.
Yeah,
But to Sarah's point, like you can't do that on a large scale. That's a very
No.
manual, tedious process. So yeah,
100%.
to be able to get something from DubBot to help everyone on a larger scale would be awesome.
Yeah, and that's been requested. That was my little chat with DubBot earlier this morning because as I was thinking about how I wanted to share some of this information with you all and show you where the pages that have PDFs linked to, it's just not very intuitive to be able to see that. So they're working on it. They're taking it into consideration. They usually go into their engineering department first, and then they have a UI UX department. So they need to kind of figure out with that team how that would affect the user interface. So I appreciate their methodology, but to me it's a no-brainer. So hopefully they'll do that. We have about 10 minutes left, and I really wanted this to be an open office hours. So if you have other questions, please bring them. I didn't plan anything formally here, and I will try to do this every month. So, you know, if you want to go play with DubBot a little bit longer and think about a question you have, please do keep up looking at Teams, and I will post the office hours there starting in the new year. It'll be a much more regular thing. It'll either be once a month or twice a month. Alfred, did you have a question?
No, what you could do is when you go to the PDF documents and you see the list of documents there, you can go in, since it's linked from our page, you can go in and look at the actual URL of that PDF, and it'll get you pretty close to where that page is.
Right. And I think it's easy to find the page, but it's hard once you're on the page to find exactly where that PDF link is in the page.
Yes. Well, assuming that they are there. I mean, it depends on how many you have on the page, I guess. But
correct.
That could get you a little closer at that point. The other way, we're looking for stuff like, for instance, with accessibility issues. And when you do the accessibility issues, it allows you to get the summary and detail, which gives you exactly where those PDFs are and what's wrong with them and why they were broken. So there's some ways to get around it. It would be nice just to get a list of all PDFs and where they're located. That would be a great increase for us to help us out.
Now I can't even get on. DubBot just stopped working for me. I'm just getting the blue circle of nothingness.
It looks like every day it pops up with a little thing saying, "Oh, we changed the interface. Oh, we
Yeah,
changed it. Oh, we upgraded."
they're constantly working on providing new features and
Yeah.
updates to it. And I think in large part it's due to us in North Carolina, because I won't say I've been bombarding them, but they're just so receptive to any and all input and requests that we have that they're constantly working on it. And I wanted to say one other thing. Amy Hepler recently went to a conference that had state representatives from every state who are working on accessibility issues. And they were at this really cool conference in Lexington. And a couple of states talked about how much they wish they didn't have Moncito and or Acquia Optimize, which is what we used to have. And when she showed them DubBot, those state agencies were delighted and want to transition over to it as well. So even though there's been a little bit of a learning curve with DubBot, and people were real comfortable with Acquia Optimize / Moncito, I think that the quality of the reporting that we're getting from DubBot far exceeds anything we've ever had before. So I am really tickled by that information, and I hope that you guys are seeing the benefits of it as well. Sorry, I was just looking in the chat. Does anybody have any other questions or?
Phoebe,
Yes, Sean, hi.
Sorry. Sean
Sorry, is someone else talking?
Oh, I just saw Sean raise his hand.
Sean.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if there's a way to like permanently hide an issue. Like for the spell check section, I have a lot of things coming up like it thinks part of a URL is a typo, or it'll randomly seem to perceive that there's a space in the middle of a word where like on the
Yeah.
actual website there's not.
Yes. So Sean, it sounds like you are a viewer. Let me. Let's see. And you are Albemarle, Pamlico National. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, I'm going to make you an admin, and that way you can, and I've just done that, you can now ignore words, add words to your dictionary, all of that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe, I do have a question.
Sure. Hi.
The PDF report only show PDF being referenced by web page, right?
Only shows the PDF being referenced by the web page. I think I understand your question. The PDF report only shows PDFs that are published on your website and linked to a PDF from a page on your website.
Okay. Got you.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Phoebe, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sure. Hey,
my
Carlicia.
Hey, Phoebe. My question is, one of the things that our agency's been doing is these mass kind of data dumps and deleting a lot of stuff.
Yay.
that we see that's flagged. Is your recommendation to suggest to Google to recrawl our site or edit our robo.txt file to get those changes and updates as processed as soon as possible? What is your recommendation for that?
That is a great question, Carlicia. And I am going to probably throw that over the fence to John Cotter because he's here.
And I'd love
Oh,
to
no.
throw it to someone else too. So
Sorry,
you
John.
want to, Carlicia, you're saying you changed a bunch of content and you want Google to, you're thinking about maybe trying to make Google recrawl the site so that it doesn't link to bad stuff, like stuff that doesn't exist anymore. I think that's a great idea. Is that something, to Elena, is that something that they have control over?
Let me check. Great question, Carlicia. Let me check how your site map is provided to Google. And usually it's set up on automatical crawling. So if you make an update, things should automatically be crawled by Google. Sometimes it takes several weeks for Google to actually learn the new sitemap, even if it's crawled, because, it comes up in searches and so on. So let's review and we will follow up. But the way it's set up, your sitemap should be updated automatically. We can help you to submit new sitemap if needed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in general, I think it's a great concern and a great question. I think in general, though, you just kind of got to let Google do its thing. I mean, it sounds like you're trying to go above and beyond, but I think that you just need to control the content that you have. Think about your redirects. That is an important thing to think about. Like, if a user bookmarks some page and that page had a PDF and then now that page is gone, that bookmark's going to break. Google has nothing to do with that. That's you. You have to handle those redirects.
Yes. And that's what we've been doing. We've been basically, and it's insane, but we've been manually going into Google and with all those broken links, because they still appear on the search, to redirect so that they're not getting a 404. But it's just taking a very long time when we do these massive deletions.
Yeah.
I just submitted your sitemap to Google, which is done through Search Console. So you should see results.
Oh, there you go.
Soon.
Is that something that people can request, Elena?
Absolutely.
On ServiceNow, do you want to drop the link and then
I will provide the link. Yes, we help you with all search and Google search set up on the Digital Commons sites, so we can submit the fresh sitemap if you need.
Great question.
Thank you.
If anyone has trouble with the DubBot spell checker or broken links and you can't manipulate to add content to your dictionary or ignore a misspelled word that isn't actually misspelled, do let me know, because that means that you have the wrong permission and I can change your permission in DubBot very easily. So I'd be happy to do that. Are there any other questions? Because we are right at time.
Phoebe, we're still in DHHS. We're still gathering all of the websites and applications that the department owns. Once we've finished that, we want to have DubBot crawl some of these and then set up, like, we in comms don't manage them. So there's random people in our IT section who manage some of the content of some of these external sites. And so just need to know what the process is. Like, should we just send you all of the sites and then who should get the report?
Yes. So
Okay.
when you want to add a site to DubBot, I need the full URL and I need
Okay.
to know who needs access via DubBot to look at those reports. People that can have access must have an NCID. If they
Okay.
don't have an NCID, that's when we run into a lot of hiccups, and that's a security thing that the state has requested. So just make sure, Sarah, that they've got an NCID.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much.
Of course. Of course. And Elena put how to update your sitemap. Request. She put a link in the chat. I am not finding my words today. I apologize. But are there any other questions, comments?
Elena, can you explain what a sitemap is in to everyone, because they may not be familiar with that term?
So, sitemap is a set of web pages on your website that is visible for Google and DubBot as well. If you type /sitemap.xml after your website URL, you will be able to see same set of pages that is visible for Google. And
Perfect.
this is a very useful element that we provide for all agencies. It's available on any Digital Commons website.
So Carlicia, were you using that XML file to compare?
Yes. And when we did that, I would resubmit it to Google. But like I said, it was still appearing in our search results, and it got to be a problem.
Okay. Wow, you're awesome. Cool stuff.
Okay, well, do keep your eyes out for the next office hours, DubBot office hours that I will be putting in the Teams channel. And I sure hope everybody is reviewing the newsletter. We have been trying really hard to provide helpful information in that newsletter, but keep it short. So we all have too much to read, but we're linking out to different blog posts that we have. So do keep looking at the newsletters. Do keep submitting ServiceNow requests to us. And I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday if I don't talk or see you before then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You did a great job, Phoebe.
Oh, thanks, Alfred. I appreciate
good-
You have a good holiday.
you too. Thank you.
Sorry, one thing real quick. I'm
Yeah.
not able to see the chat. It says in channel meetings, only the members of the team have access to the chat. Could you possibly adjust that? It might be because Natalie invited me to attend, like, on her behalf.
Yeah, this is the issue with Teams. It drives me crazy. If you're not a part, well, let me stop the recording so that people who, let me see what I can do.